Hello everyone, Ash here. A bit ago I got the chance to go down to EA headquarters to check out the first chapter to Knights of the Eternal Throne, the upcoming expansion in Star Wars The Old Republic. So this is the first time they are showing anything from Eternal Throne beyond the teasers and the developer live streams. So I'm here with impressions on my own hands-on playthrough with the first chapter, Wrath of Ruin.
Vosper, your friends suffer.
At last, the immortal Emperor speaks.
Wrath of Ruin is the first chapter to the Eternal Throne expansion. It's a continuation of the story after Knights of the Fallen Empire, picking up after you knock down a former emperor off his throne, and a major plot twist swings by to take his place. I played a Sith warrior, making light side choices in my playthrough. It took me about an hour and 10 minutes to get to the big decision of the chapter, which, to be honest, included me cutting corners, skipping quests, and boarding around mobs to avoid conflicts. If you're playing with a geared character, you might actually pass through faster, but with the way the first chapter runs, I would not suggest rushing through. Before I got to play, BioWare had set the stage that the progression of Eternal Throne seems to wrap around this question of what does it mean to be a ruler? While you do have the family-centric narrative and the story plot that Star Wars has thematically tied itself to, Eternal Throne directs its attention on you as the eventual winner. Your path, your troubles, your story actually lies in shaping your character, positioning them into power, and, this is the important part, never letting go.
It is our duty to defend the planet and drive off the cruel army of the Eternal Empire. For the Alliance!
BioWare's really taken an interesting approach to how they tackle gameplay for the story portions of the game. What used to be just hacking and slashing your way to victory using your class's set of abilities, Eternal Throne implements a lot of gameplay that borrows ideas from the original Star Wars film trilogy. A few examples that BioWare mentioned to us was the ability to control a droid, just like R2-D2, infiltrating a base disguised as an enemy during the rescue of Princess Leia, for instance, and using a walker to fight hordes of enemies like Chewbacca. Matter of fact, that third one is actually in the first chapter, where you can pilot your own walker, pull mobs of enemies into one little pocket, and then blast them all at once. Other than the story itself, that's probably like the one thing that I really enjoyed out of the entire chapter. It's satisfying, I guess is the best way of putting it. It's satisfyingly strong despite its slowness cross-map. But there are certain parts during the gameplay whenever you're actually in the walker where the devs kind of poke fun at your expense, because whenever you try to cut corners, it'll be like, nope. But yeah, it added a bit more flavor to the routine of, hey, listen to the person talk. Okay, kill bad guys. Okay, listen to this person talk. Okay, kill bad guys.
Good shot, Theron.
I aim to please.
Next time, aim to kill.
Show off.
I mentioned it briefly before, but Eternal Throne seems to buckle down on this eventual success that you will be in power, and you must deal with staying in power. One of the modes that adds to this appeal is Uprisings. Announced weeks ago during a developer livestream, Uprisings are group-based missions that will have you running through an area with larger mobs and more challenging enemies. So I got to play the Inferno Uprising, where we fought only one of the big bads during the entire process because we kept wiping one of the big bads named Lord Rad. So it was a hilarious name. But it wasn't a mere tank and spank, and we wiped multiple times because we didn't have any health packs, so we didn't have any healers. But I have to say, it was really challenging because you had to force yourself to kite around and juggle power-ups because this damage dealing boss would just kick you and kill you. But in any case, it was really challenging. And if you're looking for more group content, Uprising is definitely the way to go. I recommend keeping a lookout for the SWTOR subreddit at r/SWTOR, as a good handful of the SWTOR community will be showing off an unreleased Uprising this week.
Senya.
Hello, Outlander.
For what it's worth, I regret firing on your ship. I blame the heat of battle.
It's in the past. The future is what matters.
Arkin is with me now. On Voss. Of course. Valen's only attacking the planet to burn her family out of hiding.
And now she leaves me no choice. I need your help, Outlander. Arkin needs your help.
But when it comes down to it, I'm personally a sucker for narrative. And, more importantly, choices that matter. One of the stressing parts about Fallen Empire's expansion is that it gave this overarching feel that your choices would have a resounding presence over the path of the game, only to be delayed or muted in the progression of the chapters. During the dev presentation, when we got to play the chapter in person, the Bioware devs stated that they pursued choice this time around with more value and more depth, leaving a possibly, I would say, more confounding mark on you, but as well as change the amount of influence, whether helpful or detrimental, to your character's experience and progression down the line. In other words, these choices are more in your face, and I reckon you can better predict what it means for you down the line. The good thing is that this isn't some Titanic situation where killing a guard doesn't amount to much. It's something that has a greater impact on how you play because the decisions wrap around the characters you've invested time and emotion into, and perhaps affect how you approach your own character's alignment in ongoing chapters. I didn't get to finish the chapter, though as I understand it, I only had about 15 to 20 minutes until the end. The chapter was faster and had the same intensity as the first chapter of Fallen Empire. It's an interesting blend so far of having the iconic Star Wars family drama coupled with satisfying the player's own power fantasy. I'm curious how strongly our decisions will interject and how long the family will be an ally or a thorn at our side. How relevant the family will be once we attain power. As far as Uprisings, I see it as a nice toe dip for the larger pool of the Old Republic. For people like me who spend an egregious amount of time playing solo, this is actually a good start. It's a good stepping stone for those who are a bit too terrified or demoralized of joining a raid right off the bat, joining other players who literally have years up on you. As a player who felt no motivation from previous expansions, especially Fallen Empire, to approach other content, as the gap between story and in-game content was way too wide, Uprisings give casuals the chance to take that step, and I might consider. As much as I enjoyed the first chapter for all these things, I'm a bit wary because Bioware was very upfront that you will win, though very hush about the journey that takes you there. I do think it's too early to make a call on whether this will be the expansion to turn things around, but I think Bioware is definitely taking slow steps to where I think they want to go, as well as where the community eventually wants them to go. Slow steps being the key phrase here. I enjoyed Fallen Empire for its fresh take on storytelling that was very similar to the lighthearted yet ominous tonalities that we've seen in the movies. And with what I've seen so far, what I've seen from Eternal Throne, I think it all has promise. Bioware calls this their favorite and best expansion yet, and I hope it delivers from the first chapter to the last, and then some. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Be sure to like this video if you liked, or comment if you didn't. If you have a question on something you've seen, heard, or possibly didn't even hear at all, please send your question in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer. The video on the major choice in episode 1 will be out soon. Be sure to follow me on Twitter @LadyInsanity for all the updates, including my schedule for both YouTube and Twitch. But for now, again, thank you, take care, and may the Force ever serve you. cheesy, I know.